people's house. Big Zeus. It's the people's house. Big Zeus. Full dedicated 1600 on the map. Yeah, supposed to be the people's house. I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers. I'm balling through the wall. Power through the people. Yeah,
I'm late.
Make that call. Trapping for the team. Red and white and blue. That's me.
That's me.
Voices on the block. I'm breaking through. I got the keys. I'm in the lobby. Yeah, I'm moving like
Get
an
OG.
Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Yeah, signing for the fam. Yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard. I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision. Yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big on a big tech, turn these dreams to bag. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. Balance in my hand, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK. Now it's photo ops, power plays all day. I'm trapping for the vote.
Big Zeus.
It's the people's house.
Big Zeus. Good morning.
It's in the air. Big Zeus. Yeah. We knocking on the door. Big Zeus. We wanna hear your soul. Yeah.
Grand Rising.
They asking for that smoke.
The smoke.
People, them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke.
Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your
soul. On my portrait on the wall, they staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told.
Happy Friday.
I'm dropping out the west wind, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. All I need is
The
a
goat.
spark. Red phone ringing, but you
Good morning. Hey, VIP.
You know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside. And the gates is locked.
This power never divides. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
1600, do it all day, all night.
The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap. Hey!
Keys, that's a fact. It's a rap. I'ma bring it back. In the people's house. Yeah, it's the people's house. We knocking on the door. It's the people's house.
Big Zeus. Let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. Try to end this week on a high note, right? You know what we do over here, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly what we do. Uh-oh. Three Crossing Radio. Oh, yeah, speaking of that, 1600 Pennsylvania. I've been saying that for a while, but I think I finally got the last of it done. Thank you. I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class.
Sticky fingers, Tara. Let's go, let's go. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass.
Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas.
Tanks? That's right, that's right. Tanks of gas. Or if you charge it, charged up. Welcome. The algorithm turns into a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my zodiac. Let's go. Good morning, yes. Hey, you know who Benjamin Franklin is, right? Right, Evan? Good morning. Good morning, Rick. Nice to see you. Let's go. Eugene, I see you. Peaches, thank you. Meg, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's do it together. Tara, Casey, let's go. Here goes.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days.
Yes.
Drug
It was
test.
radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Oh!
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu. It's
Wow.
like deja vu.
Wow.
It's like deja vu.
Oh, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. I am your host. I'm your pilot. Yes, off the rails, heaven. Yes, I'm your host. I'm your pilot. You know exactly why we're gathered here once again. We're doing the real work that it takes to save this great country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump. and his legion of MAGA demons that have tried their best to destroy this great country of ours, just through just widespread propaganda and misinformation. And now these people, they're out here blending in like chameleons, because the walls are truly closing in, and we're getting to the bottom of a very serious national security issue that involves this man. And you see how he's all of a sudden hanging out with kids. And I just started thinking to myself, that's exactly what people who are trying to hide something, they do this. They hide around innocent women and children, because you're not going to come get me. Look at me. I'm around all these kids, right? And I'll get into that in short order. But before I do, let's take care of some very important housekeeping items. For those of you, this might be your first time on my platform. I don't know how it is at this point. I've been doing it for a while. I think everybody already knows, but I'll say it anyway. I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H it's because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. I just have to be this way right now, because we're at a place in American history where dancing around the issue and beating around the bush, it's not going to work. You really got to deliver crushing, harsh truths to some folks out here, especially those who are possessed with the MAGA demon. So that's the first H, because I'm honest, the most honest on social media. The second H it's because I'm humble. Listen, if I get it wrong, I will be the first one to apologize, honestly, because that's just the type of person that I am. But just because your feelings are hurt, it does not mean that I owe you an apology. Most likely it means you need to sit your special behind down and do what? Listen to this special broadcast. Seriously. All right. And then the last and the most important H, ladies and gentlemen, it's honestly one of the most important H's of them all. It is because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, what? The most handsome. Thank you. And by the way, people ask me, is that a script, Zeus, that you're reading? I don't read a script. I'm the Rizzler, all right? Scripts come to me to actually get what they need to be saying, all right? I don't need a script. I just do this right off the dome, because when you love your country like I do, you don't need a script. You just get out here and say what's really on your mind. And so with that being said, I like to go ahead and preface what I'm about to get into by once again, because I don't want people, especially the fragile men out there, the fragile MAGA men out there, they call themselves alpha. You know what? And it's actually the fragile MAGA women, and I don't like to do that, because I understand, I should not be, making it, putting too much pressure, and trying to challenge women to think above and beyond, like I do with the MAGA men. But at this moment, I have to at least put it out there and say, if you are a person that's very fragile, you might want to leave this live, because I promise you, especially if you're a Trump supporter, Ray, did you just say, let you guess Epstein? Ray, would you be willing to have an honest conversation with the American people about Jeffrey Epstein today? I didn't, you opened that door. I just said, all right, I'll go through it then. All right, that's a huge W, Zeus. If you could honestly, Ray, come in here and have an honest conversation with the American people this morning, I would really value that, because even if you don't do it, I'm going to do it anyway, because I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hurt your feelings, all right? I'm going to ruin your appetite if you're a Trump voter, all right? Man or woman, it doesn't matter, or anything in between. I'm going to hurt your feelings, because where we're at right now, we are at a place where we can't turn around, all right? And so what I'll say is this: if you're a Trump supporter out there and you don't want Big Zeus or anybody else to hurt your feelings this morning, just leave my show and go hang out with these fake TikTok hosts. Ray looks like she could be one of them now, right? You go hang out with them, because they'll lie to you. They'll take your money. Send me a gift. Send me a gift. Tap the screen. Share the live. We need to get our goals up, goals up, goals up. And they're just lying to you the whole time. Democrats, Democrats, Democrats. Give me your money. Give me your money. That's the song. Democrats, Democrats, Democrats. Give me your money. Give me your money. Give me your money. Tap the screen. Tap the screen. Share the live. And then after they get done manipulating you and lying to you, they'll say, now you come on back here tomorrow, all right? And that's a huge W, Zeus. Now you come on back here tomorrow when you get some more money, then and I can use you up, all right? Other than that, they don't care about you. You go hang out with them, but over here, we won't lie to you. We'll tell you the truth, all right? And guess what? We don't even charge you to tell the truth sometimes, right? So get this. If you don't want that to happen to you, leave right now, because it's going to get very, very uncomfortable for you. I promise you it will, but get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy
Kristen?
In the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Kristen.
Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome, they've officially closed. I take no responsibility for the sparks that are starting to fly. And I say that to both sides because you just hear things in here and rest assured, us Democrats, Nutty brought it up. We'll work out our own personal issues if it turns into that, but we can always have a different way of looking at things. That's never an issue. The big issue here is MAGA and what we need to do with them, which is do what, Zeus? Send them straight to hell. And so, Kristen. Oh, Slim, you don't want this, Slim. I ran into you before, Slim. You don't want this. Go get your. You don't want this, Slim. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is getting out of hand right now with MAGA right now. First off, I'm gonna play some videos to let some of them out there understand the floodgates have begun to open, and people who have whatever little bit of morsel of dignity and self-respect, I don't know how they have it in the cult, they're starting to defect from the cult, and that's because we're on the heels, ladies and gentlemen, of probably one of the biggest, this is an atomic political, I don't know if it's a hydrogen type of bomb or whatever, boom, boom, that's about to hit Donald Trump's administration. We already know we got the discharge petition signed. Rick. And members of Congress are now going to go on record. Do you support P3DOs or not? That's what this is all about. And so it's like in the good book, separating the wheat from the tares. But I believe, and I have a lot of confidence because the reporting has already came out, Donald Trump is fuming at MAGA Mike Johnson because MAGA Mike Johnson, his hands are tied. It got to hit the floor. And we're going to see that thing go through the House, the Senate, and then it's going to go straight to the Oval Office. And everybody wants to know, what will Donald Trump do? What will Donald Trump do? Will giving the kids little medals work, ladies and gentlemen? Will this trick Donald Trump has been doing? You know, he had Melania up yesterday doing a little executive order signing. Oh, what are we doing, Melania? We're trying to show we care about the kids. and she wrote and then he's doing this. Is this going to work, ladies and gentlemen? Is this going to work? Is this going to make everybody forget about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein? Is this going to work? I just want to test the audience to see if y'all falling for it, all right? Because, a sucker's born every day. I get it. Okay, so the audience says no. That's what guilty people do. They go and hide behind women and children. And Donald Trump is he's literally playing into the Democrat trap, all right? It's a Democrat trap that he's in right now. And a trap is a trap. If it's a Republican trap, I'll call it a Republican trap. If it's a Democrat, this is a good Democrat trap. And all it is, Donald, just tell the American people the truth. That's the trap. Just tell us the truth, Donald, and this will all go away. Uh-oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. They reported Big Zeus already. Wow. Y'all really out there like that, huh? Y'all really out there. Y'all really out there in y'all feelings like that. Wow. Why y'all so upset, MAGA? I mean, I haven't even gotten started. But you know what you just reminded me I need to do? Let me go ahead and get that back up. No, Ray, I did get reported. Trust me, I don't need to lie about that stuff. You all see right now, as a matter of fact, Ray, I can't even send messages. I can't even send messages on TikTok. They took me out. No messages for a whole week. Why? Because I was actually sharing a narrative that MAGA is pushing, and it was a screenshot. I sent it to one of my good friends, and they said, nope, no more. So I'm like, wow, I can't even say what MAGA says anymore on TikTok because they'll get you, all right? It's a huge W, Zeus. All right. Now, that's my backup account, ladies and gentlemen, in case things go off the rails this morning, all right? So, where was I at? Oh, yeah, I said now people in the cult are starting to defect because the writing is on the wall. Donald Trump and the rest of his supporters, they got to they got to let us know where they stand on very serious issues. So, I'll give you an example. This is a random person. I don't know who this guy is, but white guy, Portland. And it says more Americans are now expressing their disappointment in President Donald Trump. And we're just going to get this on the record, all right? And again, this is why I like this show sometimes, because it's at a level now where honestly it's probably better I don't talk to the Trump voters I just let the evidence that's out there speak for itself, because I know most of them, if they get in the box, they're not going to tell the truth. All right. So let's get this on the record. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Be booed at. I saw Trump be booed at the football game the other day, and honestly, dude, it made me kind of sad. Like, people don't realize how much I love Donald Trump. Like, if you talk to my friends, even years ago, they would have told you that my favorite person in the world, other than Jesus, was Donald Trump.
So this is a video of a Trump voter breaking up with Donald Trump. He said, and you heard the level of respect he had for Donald Trump. It was Jesus and Donald Trump. I would never do that, honestly. If you are somebody out there that thinks like this, then this video, oh, my appeal got approved. See, all I do bring Jesus in and the appeal gets approved. They knew what I was doing. Thank you, TikTok. All right, listen up.
I used to drive around Portland with Trump stickers all over my truck, and they would get scratched off every week, and I would put on new Trump stickers. Like, I believe that he was different, dude. And he used to walk into UFC fights or football games or baseball games or whatever, and the whole crowd would just erupt, and it was just beautiful to see. And now, dude, just everything has changed. Like, Donald Trump had the ability to be the best president of all time. He could have closed the borders, stopped all the woke nonsense, and locked up some politicians. Tried to cut down the cabal a little bit. But he's just not who we thought he was, dude. And to me, it was a very sad realization. Like, my family, my friends are still huge Trump people, but I see the world through a spiritual lens now. And what I'm seeing just doesn't look good.
Boom! Boom, 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 boom. You see, this is happening, ladies and gentlemen. He sees the world through a spiritual lens now, and it doesn't look good. What doesn't look good, Shan? It isn't the booze and the shame, nah. It's because of this thing that involves Jeffrey Epstein. You know, they say dead people don't talk, and I've thought about that. And I said, the only dead person that I've ever seen defy that is Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, you know, they say dead people don't talk. You need to change that. Dead people accept Jeffrey Epstein, because Jeffrey Epstein, ladies and gentlemen, is doing one heck of a job, really giving the world true insights to how dirty Donald J. Trump really is. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and get that. Maybe that should be the theme of my show today. If y'all don't mind, is it all right? Is it all right if we change the theme of this show to I know how dirty Donald Trump is? I think that's a huge W, Zeus. So this guy jumped off the Trump train. How many of you know who this woman is? Candace Owens. Listen to what Candace Owens says, ladies and gentlemen. I heard this and I said, you know what, Judge? And I'm going to do judgment because I'm not going to excuse these people. I'm not going to excuse them. Watch this.
Trump administration seems to have been hiding these emails. They're not good. Okay, they are completely indefensible. But I already told you, I was done with MAGA at the moment he looked us in the face and he said, "What files?" Right? What are we still talking about? Jeffrey Epstein. Pam Bondi said it was a Democrat hoax. No, I think the entire nation has been hoaxed by Republicans and Democrats, and there are pervert elites that sit at the top.
That's how you justify it, Republicans and Democrats. But notice Candace Owens said she's done with MAGA. Yeah. And this is every single thing that's happening right now in the MAGA cult. I've predicted it. You've predicted it. We all knew we were going to get to this place, because I know in a few years you're not going to be able to find one person in the United States who will say, yes, I voted for Trump. They won't do that anymore. They'll never admit it, because what's about to hit them, it's going to change the dynamics in this country for a long time. W. Rick, all right? As a matter of fact, I'll give you an example. You know, so I'm out there communicating with these Trump voters. You know, I have wars with them, all right? And after all of this email stuff has leaked out, and then they seen Candace Owens say what she said, you know what these demons said? And you got to be on the lookout for this, ladies and gentlemen. This is their new line. Both sides are corrupt, Zeus. And we're not MAGA. We are Christians. This is their new thing now. This is what you got to be on. We were never MAGA. We were only Christians. And I said, gotcha right there. And then I said, now I'm going to do what I need to do. I got to get ready to start judging these demons where they're at. No, I'm going to be honest with you. You are MAGA and you ain't Christians. All right? Because you can't now try to come to a realization that Donald Trump is a terrible person. Because remember, this master manipulation that Donald Trump has been doing to all of his supporters has been going on for years, decades, MAGA. And every time we inched up to you and said, that's not true, Donald Trump is manipulating you, guess what you did? You lied and you accused us, and you just said all kinds of nasty things. You disgraced the country. You showed up in the Capitol on January 6th doing unimaginable things. And even then, right now to this day, you won't just admit it that you've been duped. And so what I'll do is this, to all the people out there that voted for Donald Trump, make no mistake. You are MAGA, all right? And and definitely one thing you're not is, guess what? A Christian. So what I'll do is this, Candace Owens, I'm glad you came out and told your truth. And I wish there were other Trump supporters out there that would have the courage Candace Owens has. And there's some of them out there. But guess what? You know what? You make your bed, you got to sleep in it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these Trump voters where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Have I lied yet, ladies and gentlemen? And notice what I'm doing. Because if there's anybody out there telling me that I'm lying, and they want to use the narrative that it's because he's a Democrat, notice I'm not playing I haven't really played any Democrat people yet. These are all people who are MAGA. All right, I'll give you another example. Let's go ahead and listen to it. And I hate this individual too, because, I know what he stands for, but a broken clock, it could be right a couple of times. All right, this is Nick Fuentes. Listen to what he's saying, MAGA.
First of all, this is the most obvious thing about the files. The release of this batch of 20,000 emails proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it is black and white, undeniable, that Trump is a liar.
Oh.
Trump lied about the files. And he lied in the furtherance of a conspiracy and a cover-up of the Epstein scandal.
Which is similar to the Alvin Bragg case. You know how they say it wasn't a felony? It is a felony because when you do the initial crime in the furtherance of another crime, right? That means it turns from misdemeanor to a felony. So what Nick Fuentes is saying, MAGA, is if we were to take this case into a courtroom right now, in terms of lying, this is a felony level of lying Donald Trump has been doing. And that's a huge W, Zeus, because I just connected those dots. He's lying at a felony level. All right?
Because what his Department of Justice said in July is that there are no files. They didn't say there are no persons of interest. They didn't say there is no third-party investigation. They didn't say that there's nothing germane to a future investigation. They said there are no files, and they insisted upon this for months. They denied the existence of the files. And we all knew that was a lie. We knew that because it was reported to us that in May, Trump instructed the FBI to go through those files and look for his name. And they found it all over the place. Yeah. And they told him that. And Trump lied that he didn't know whether his name was in the files. But he did, because he was worried about it. He knew it. And he got the FBI to comb through the files and confirm it.
Wow.
Then months later, he said there are no files. Well, as of yesterday, now that we have the 20,000 emails, we know that he lied.
Ooh.
There are Epstein files, and what was delivered to the public were emails and other communications, and they do contain Trump's name.
Ooh.
And some of...
So, are we all in agreement? Are we all in agreement that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files? Are we all in agreement about that over here on this side of TikTok? because we won't allow anybody else to convince us of otherwise. We're all in agreement. Yeah, and I heard about Putin and Bubba, and that's another thing. We all know about Putin and Bubba, correct? We all know about that because that's something we didn't know about. I suspected it. Yep, W to the chat. So we got Epstein literally painting the most accurate picture of who Donald J. Trump really is. And they say, well, Zeus, you can't believe Epstein because, he's a bad person. No, criminals hang out with other criminals. You just got to keep that in mind. And the only people criminals tend to be honest with, they're not honest with good people. They're honest with bad people. And so the email exchange between him and Ghislaine Maxwell, that's private communications between two criminals. All right. And so that means it's credible, actually. And now that's a W, Zeus. So when you read what he's saying to Ghislaine Maxwell, that's one criminal to another, but that's honest communication. And you just got to ask yourself, if they want to use it, it looks to me like Epstein had a case of Trump derangement syndrome, because every email, it seems, he just had to say something about Donald Trump. And I said, I think he had enough awareness to understand that Donald Trump was definitely somebody he needed to keep his eye on, right? And so every communication, it's going to be about Trump. And so what we'll do is make sure everybody knows that, guess what? According to Jeffrey Epstein, ladies and gentlemen, he knows how dirty Donald Trump is. All right. And that's a W, Zeus. Ray, are you still there, Ray? Don't worry about my mods, Ray. All right. What's very, very important, honestly, is that you receive the information that I'm giving you. All right. Don't worry about you getting the attention you want in the comment section. None of you Trump supporters really should be typing in my chat. And if there's something you want to say, send me a guest request and I will field the conversations accordingly. But don't do anything in the comment section, because that comes across as kind of, rude in a way. It's like you're not paying attention. All right. And I want you to really, really pay attention. I want MAGA to come to grips with this. For 10 years, you all have been defending these two. MAGA, for 10 years, you have been defending these two. You went to the voting booth not once, not twice, 3 times to prop up a ring of P3os. Yeah, y'all did this. How do you write that? Like, how do you live with yourself knowing you did that? That's the only question I want to ask MAGA at this moment, because this bill, this discharge petition, it's going to make its rounds. And when it gets to Donald Trump's desk, how many of you think when it gets to his desk, he's going to do the whole ceremony? You know how he does when he signs executive orders, right? You know how he invites the media in and signs it and answers. How many of you think he's going to do that when the discharge petition hits his desk? How many of you think he's going to do that? Anyone think he's going to do that when that comes up to him on his desk? Well, I'm looking. Not me either. Yeah, he's not going to do it. And y'all voted for this. That's why Candace Owens right now is saying, I'm not MAGA. I was done with them. That's why Nick Fuentes and them are going off. Where's Charlie Kirk? Look at our grocery prices. Y'all been duped. And this isn't just like, oh, he tricked me. No, this is, you've invested. This is a relationship y'all have had with this man. 10 years. 10 years. And you know what makes it hurt even more, MAGA? And I know, and I probably shouldn't say it. They always want to say this is political. It is political. It is political in the sense that, number one, the Democrats were right. You're going to have to live with this guilt the rest of your life, MAGA, that the Democrats were right the whole time. And if you're one of these demons out there, I'm going to warm up the lake of fire. If you're still one of these demons out here, and your rationale for allowing yourself to be manipulated for 10 years is, oh, well, there's evil on both sides. Do me a huge, huge favor. Step up to the plate and then let me take care of you. What are you going to do, Zeus? I'm going to judge you. What are you going to do? Send your special ignorant behind where you belong. Where, Zeus? Straight to hell. No excuse.
Silence!
Yeah.
You MAGA
People say,
David!
Zeus, why are you still talking about this? And I say, it's because this is a very important issue. And you know what? We owe it to the survivors, the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, and perhaps even the guy running the country, right? And I think the best illustration of that comes from a survivor. And Caitlin Collins did an awesome job talking to this woman yesterday. I'm so glad she found the courage to do this. But listen to what she says. She basically is saying they didn't think we would get to where we're at right now. With getting the information out to the people, but look at where we're at, all right? And so this is a W for the survivors, all right?
Told me that you had actually reached out to the Justice Department, to the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, with your concerns about their treatment of Maxwell and her being moved to a lighter security prison. Did you ever hear back from the Deputy Attorney General?
No, and I think that's very telling. There's been no communication at all.
So you've heard nothing from the administration as this has been playing out?
No, I have heard nothing.
Where's Ray at? Ray, are you still here? Ma'am, are you still here? How does that how do you feel, honestly, knowing that one of the survivors reached out to Deputy Attorney General to get some sort of information as to, like, why are you treating Ghislaine Maxwell this way in front of our faces? And she's been shown the door once again. How does that make you feel, Ray? Are you muted? Don't say you're muted now. No. Now I'm asking you to interact. Notice any of the Trump women out there, any Trump women out there still? Is it getting too sensitive? Am I getting too sensitive? Let me see. Because they had so much to say at the start of the show. I'm here for it, Zeus. They've gone radio silent. Listen to this woman.
And, I guess just one further point I wanted to make, just because it's kind of in my mind now, what your last guest was saying, that it's unlikely that this would continue on or move forward in terms of the legislation. And I feel like it's important to note that so many things that are unlikely have happened when it comes to this case. It was very unlikely that we would get the signatures we needed for this discharge petition. And here we are. We have them. All right. It was very unlikely that Andrew would no longer be a prince. And that's happened. And I think, for years, people said it was unlikely that anyone would care or know about the crimes of Epstein and his co-conspirators. And people clearly do. So I really believe that people are going to demand that this move forward. And I think it's very likely it will happen.
So W to Annie Farmer and all the survivors for helping the unlikely to be possible. But notice, I'm talking to the audience. The ladies that were in here saying they're Trump voters, they've gone radio silent, because this is what happens when reality confronts them, right? Now it starts to hit very close to home, and you don't want to talk to us about it, because guess what? The moment that door opens, you're going to reveal to all of us the type of person you're. And this is why I say this. These Trump voters, ladies and gentlemen, be on the lookout. They talk a great game. They act real tough. They act like they can handle anything. But mark my words, these folks are like paper tigers. They'll crumble in the face of adversity, and that's because their lies get exposed in record time when they come and talk to real people like you and I, and that's a huge W, Zeus. That's a huge W, Zeus. Now that I've let you all hear some good voices, from, reputable sources, whether they're on the other side of the aisle, the survivors and stuff like that. I think, it wouldn't be a show. It wouldn't be a show. Oh, number one, I got to address this too. And then I'll go on. Donald Trump, right before I went live, he posted a lie. And I encourage every single person out there that has the ability to keep up with Donald Trump on his own social media platform. Please, whenever he posts something, don't just go and repeat it. Fact check it using his own AI source, all right? It's mandatory at this point, and I just want you to know I did that for you. I posted the video for you, and this is another lie that his own AI has debunked. But I'm going to read it and share it out because this is a show, and we got to get it out there. So Donald Trump is now accusing Epstein of being a Democrat. This is what he's a Democrat, and we've already released 50,000 pages. All right. This is what he wakes up this morning and says, 6:23 a.m. Pacific time. He says, quote, "The Democrats are doing everything in their withering power to push the Epstein hoax again, despite the DOJ releasing 50,000 pages of documents in order to deflect from all of their bad policies and losses, especially the shutdown embarrassment, where their party is in total disarray and has no idea what to do. Some weak Republicans have fallen into their clutches because they are soft and foolish. Epstein was a Democrat, and he is the Democrats' problem, not the Republicans' problem. Ask Bill Clinton, Reid Hoffman, Larry Summers about Epstein. They all know about him. Don't waste your time with Trump. I have a country to run." His own AI debunked all of that. No evidence Epstein was a Democrat. As a matter of fact, Epstein donated to both parties. Makes sense, right? Makes sense because you saw him with Bill Clinton. You seen him with Donald Trump. You seen him. So that's a huge W, Zeus. Thank you, Andre. And then the 50,000 pages. Number one, I didn't know it was 50,000 pages. Number two, that a lot of it came out under the Biden administration. But we all know there's 300 gigabytes of data that the DOJ is sitting on. MAGA. The DOJ is sitting on 300 gigabytes, I believe, of raw Epstein file data. This isn't grand jury transcripts. Don't even try to say, oh, who wants do you want the grand jury transcripts or do you want the 300 gigabytes of data? All right. And anybody with common sense and a brain knows the real crimes are in the 300 gigabytes of data, not the grand jury transcripts that Donald Trump's trying to do the little pump fake routine on. And so what I'll do is this. Let's warm up the lake of fire. And this goes out to Donald Trump and his supporters. Now the lie is it's a Democrat hoax. Epstein was a Democrat. All right. And we've already given you everything. All right. Make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump's goose is cooked. Join me in sending Donald Trump where he belongs. Why are you sending him there, Zeus? Because he woke up this morning and lied about Jeffrey Epstein. Once again, like we're all a bunch of fools. Join me in sending him straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA Dane.
It's easy W. I score. It's like right now, going live to talk about Donald Trump and engage with his base. It's like a basketball game, and you just score whenever you want to. There's no defense. It's like a hot knife cutting through butter over here. W, Zeus. Like a hot knife cutting through butter over here. All right, now I'm gonna give you a Democrat perspective. I'm gonna give you something that's pure, unadulterated, uncut MAGA, because you know how we do. We get perspectives from all different sides, and you know it wouldn't be a show without our good friend Lawrence O'Donnell. Because what Lawrence O'Donnell does is he's at a high level from his, him and Donald Trump's relationship. It's been very interesting over the years, right? He sees Donald Trump very, very differently, and he knows how to hit him in places most of us can't. And so what Lawrence is pointing out is a perspective we all need to keep in mind, which is y'all better stop falling for what Fox News is selling you, all right, and wake up and understand they're part of the cover up. All right, go ahead, Lawrence, get them.
To what I said about him at this hour on this program last night, the breaking news of this hour is that J.D. Vance took to Twitter this evening to respond to an 18-minute video of my comments last night on this program that were posted on Twitter by a viewer. That posting excerpted what I said about the vice president last night in the tweet and wrote it in the body of the tweet, saying J.D. Vance is doing exactly what Gerald Ford did while the Nixon presidency was sinking and Richard Nixon was under increasing pressure over several months. That led to his resignation when things were the darkest for President Richard Nixon. Vice President Gerald Ford said nothing. Tonight, J.D. Vance is silent. Tonight, J.D. Vance is Gerald Ford.
Wow.
That is an accurate transcription of what I said about J.D. Vance last night. 24 hours later, J.D. Vance speaks. His post on social media in response to that video says, quote, I did 2 media interviews literally today, one of which is airing in a few hours. That tweet was posted around 6 o'clock tonight. He was referring to the Sean Hannity interview.
That's not an interview.
With J.D. Vance.
That's not an interview.
And that was presented just in the last hour on Fox. And J.D. Vance was absolutely silent in that interview about Jeffrey Epstein's emails saying that Donald Trump...
Hold on. Why didn't Biden when he... Oh, hey, Katie. Katie, come on up here, Katie. Katie, you want to come up here and ask that question? Katie, you want to come up here and ask that question? I'll give you a chance, Katie. You ask the question, and then I'll let somebody else answer it. How about that? That way, I won't be the bad person. Katie, you want to come up here and ask me that question? Zeus, what did you say? Is Katie okay? Katie, are you okay? All right. Because Katie, you have a thing that you could use called AI. Katie, did you know that? You have a smartphone called smartphone for a reason. No excuse for you to come in here uninformed, ma'am. You got to start looking this stuff up, Katie, and get the answers yourself. Katie, how did you allow yourself to be manipulated for 10 years by this guy and didn't know that he was friends with this guy who he said was a terrific guy? And it's so funny, Katie, because in none of the emails that have came out by this guy, this is Jeffrey Epstein, the most notorious child trafficker on the planet, and as far as I'm concerned, of our lifetime. And it just so happens him and Donald Trump ran in the same circles. Now, Donald Trump says he's a terrific guy, and he wishes Ghislaine Maxwell very well. But Jeffrey Epstein doesn't say that about Donald Trump. Jeffrey Epstein said this: I know how dirty Donald is. Jeffrey Epstein said he's the dog that hasn't barked. Katie, all right? So please, don't come onto my show in the comment section and reveal to us all what's really going on in your world right now, because the way it looks to me, I've never met you before, but the question itself, it's offensive. I'm offended at that question, Katie, so please don't do that. And that's a huge W. Zeus. Katie, listen to Lawrence O'Donnell, all right? You just might learn something.
Knew about the girls. J.D. Vance was absolutely silent in that interview about any of the Jeffrey Epstein emails released by the House Oversight Committee. J.D. Vance never said the word Epstein. J.D. Vance never said the words Ghislaine Maxwell. J.D. Vance stayed absolutely silent about the worst challenge his boss is facing tonight. In other words,
wow,
J.D. Vance is still Gerald Ford tonight.
Are you as obsessed with AI as I am? I am. Okay, I don't know. I'm a Grok guy.
Okay. Me too. I'm a Grok guy.
You're a Grok guy. Okay, Elon, I think it's the best.
I think it's the best. It's also the least woke. I'm always asking myself, if I ask an AI a question, is it going to give me an objective
the vice
answer?
president puts it in
an
extreme
woke
mode.
answer.
Have you put it in extreme mode just for kicks and giggles? It's a little. Well, if you want,
I have not, Sean. I don't want the media to attack
if you want to.
That whole interview was for kicks and giggles. It never, ever got more serious than that.
And coming up, more of my exclusive interview with Vice President J.D. Vance. We're going to ask him about the pressures of the job. What does he learn from President Trump? And, of course, the question on everyone's mind.
The question on everyone's mind. That was Sean doing a parody of Sean. Of course, he didn't ask the question on everyone's mind about Donald Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Hannity asked if J.D. Vance was going to run for president in 2028, a question J.D. Vance did not answer, but the world knows the answer is yes. Underlying the absurdity of the Hannity interview tonight, Attorney General Pam Bondi was the next guest on the Hannity show, where, of course, the word Epstein was never mentioned.
Why is Fox News trying to gaslight Americans into not addressing the biggest elephant in the room. Everybody and their mama right now has been talking about Jeffrey Epstein. And Donald Trump, he's such a glutton for attention, so to speak, that it's just mind-blowing. The most trending thing on the internet in the world right now is Epstein. And this is the time he decides, oh, I have nothing else left to say. I have nothing else to say. MAGA, don't y'all find that suspicious? MAGA, don't y'all? Bob, Bill Clinton, Obama are all quiet. Hey, Bob. Bob, are you distracted? Bob, are you distracted? Oh, I thought so, Bob. Good morning, Dolphin. See how MAGAs get? Your mind went over to Bill Clinton and Obama. They're not the president, Bob. Bob, they're not the president. We're talking about the sitting president of the United States of America, Bob. And your mind, it's broken. And I get it. I get it, Bob. Because you got a lot of work to do. You know you've been lied to. Bob, think about it like this. You've basically told the whole world you're not that bright. The moment you let people know you still support Donald Trump. After 10 years of this guy, you still support him. That just tells everybody the light bulb doesn't work. The elevator doesn't go to the top. That's a huge W, Zeus.
And in J.D. Vance's social media attempt tonight, in which he pretends that he is answering me and rising to Donald Trump's defense about Donald Trump's self-described 15-year friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, J.D. Vance himself managed to bring even more attention to my 18-minute statement last night about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein and J.D. Vance.
What did he do?
Now, the vice president's Twitter followers and social media followers probably don't often hear what I have to say.
They don't.
But now, J.D. Vance has made the mistake of hooking them up with what I had to say last night about him and Donald Trump and what Jeffrey Epstein had to say about Donald Trump in his emails. And that might be the only way J.D. Vance followers ever hear any of that.
Get him, Lawrence. Get him.
It's entirely possible that followers of J.D. Vance might have no other source for that information except the video of me talking about it that J.D. Vance tonight decided to push out there into the heart of the Trump-Vance social media world, a sealed-off echo chamber where my voice is usually not heard. So thank you for that, Mr. Vice President. And J.D. Vance proves my point tonight. By maintaining a Gerald Ford-like silence about his president's scandal in his interview on Fox. So J.D. Vance is still very much Gerald Ford tonight. Gerald Ford, as Vice President of the United States, spoke a number of times in a number of places while his president, Richard Nixon, was sinking into scandal and eventual resignation that would let Jerry Ford become president. Jerry Ford just never offered any defense of Richard Nixon's crimes as they were being revealed in an investigation and eventually in testimony by Richard Nixon's criminal co-conspirators in the White House, including White House counsel John Dean, who himself ended up convicted of crimes. And so, no, Mr. Vice President, simply submitting to a so-called interview on Fox with Sean, which avoids any possible mention of Jeffrey Epstein, does not in any way distinguish you from Gerald Ford and the way Gerald Ford handled President Nixon's collapse into scandal, disgrace, resignation, and finally being the recipient of a pardon for his crimes by the new president, Gerald Ford. The question tonight for the Vice President of the United States is, how far will you take your Gerald Ford imitation? If you, J.D. Vance, rise to the presidency, will you pardon Donald Trump? If J.D. Vance will answer that question with a simple no, then the comparison to Gerald Ford immediately evaporates. J.D. Vance's response to me tonight shows how dazed and confused the Trump team is.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is where I will wrap this whole thing up. It doesn't matter what MAGA has to say right now. We've done a total annihilation, total obliteration of them. The MAGA demon is in serious retreat mode. Their feelings are hurt. They're crying out into the void. And it's truly because they've been exposed. What do you mean, Sue? Every MAGA accusation, ladies and gentlemen, is truly, truly a MAGA confession. They got so hell-bent out of shape about Joe Biden and the Democrats, right? Remember that? Remember this? They swore up and down they were better than Joe Biden and the Democrats. They swore up and down. But we got the report card and we blew their behinds out. Pause. All right. You know what? You got to pause when you say that. But you know what I'm saying. During those special elections. All right. And then you just look at all the things that Donald Trump was supposed to be doing to help save this great country of ours, right? You see him. He's not doing good on immigration. You can see it right there. It came off of CNN. This is MAGA's new go-to because they love Harry Eaton and his polls when it makes their dear leader look good. But you know what they say? You live by the poll, you die by the poll. But look at that. Not doing good on immigration. He's doing worse on foreign policy. He's doing even worse on trade and tariffs. I mean, look at this, -5, -8, -17. Then we get into -18 territory, all right? This is the economy. And then you think he could go worse? Can someone get worse than, because the economy is the most important thing in the country, like hands down, that touches everybody. But he somehow, Donald Trump, managed to actually go beyond being just the worst president with the economy. Yeah, he's actually the worst president ever because of, guess what? His association with the most disgusting, vile human being in the planet, Jeffrey Epstein. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that I do this. Join me in warming up the lake of fire for Donald Trump and his base. They know it's over. And wait until that W. Kabir, wait until we get him to actually say he's going to veto the discharge petition. That's when we really going to get him. Join me in sending these deranged, hell-bent Trump supporters that are too afraid to get up here and talk to us where they belong. Where, Zoo? Straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, now one last thing, and look at that. Oh, I gotta do an appeal. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Look at that. They reported Big Zeus again. Y'all in y'all feelings? That's sad. That's sad, MAGA. That's sad.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right. Now let's move that along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's see. One last thing is this. I'm going to go ahead and let our good friend, and you know this man is, ladies and gentlemen. You know this is. How many of you know this is? You know this is. I'm going to let him swag off on Donald Trump one time real quick. And I appreciate Hunter Biden saying this because what he's done is he explained to all of us why Donald Trump and his base are so obsessed with his dad. And I stand behind this message. I apologize in advance. He gets a little, he's not clean with the words, but we'll let that happen because sometimes you just got to let it happen. So let's get this on the record.
Mouth shut. I've had to keep my mouth shut for the past few years, partially because of the prosecution against me and the ability for the U.S. federal government to use my words against me because they're going to have me in front of a judge to be able to twist them in whatever way that would result in seriously negative consequences for me.
Yeah.
But the idea that anything that I'm saying now is going to make me more of a target than I already am to Donald Trump, to MAGA. Look, man, and here's the other thing.
Go ahead.
Just as a son, as a man, this motherfucker, the way that he talks about my dad, fuck him.
Ooh.
And again, sorry for my language.
It's okay.
But he is obsessed. And I tell you the reason why he's obsessed.
Why, Hunter?
Because unlike anyone else, my dad kicked his ass like a rented mule and beat him by 7.5 million votes. Wow. got more votes than anyone that has ever run for president of the United States of America, 81 million votes, at a higher participation rate than anyone that has ever run for president since 1901. That's why he hates my dad, because he beat him. So he has to literally change history.
Let's get that again. This is my favorite part. I'm so sorry.
This motherfucker, the way that he talks about my dad, fuck him. And again, sorry for my language.
Sorry, it's good.
It's okay.
But he is obsessed. And I tell you the reason why he's obsessed.
Tell me.
Because unlike anyone else, my dad kicked his ass like a rented mule.
That part. W. Hunter Biden. That part. Like a rented mule. No offense to the rented mules out there. But that's what it is, all right? So that's a huge, huge W to Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden, you're more than welcome to come to the kingdom and talk to all of us about what your dad did to Donald Trump. I appreciate it. All right. All right, and I got to open up the box now, so that concludes my monologue. Thank you all. It is now the time to have some honest conversations with those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and try to tell the truth. You know, I like to talk to the Trump voters right now. I really want to get to the bottom of why you're still supporting Donald Trump. He's down on every aspect. He's down in every aspect. Oh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. DJ has returned. Isn't it so funny, DJ? Oh, Hunter Biden is your hero. That's hilarious. DJ, look at that. The appeal didn't get approved. Wow. That's so sad. That's so sad, MAGA. That's so sad. But DJ, it's so interesting that this whole time I've been talking, you are radio silent. But the moment I bring Hunter Biden out, you all of a sudden pipe up. Your silence, sir, is going to be your downfall. It's your silence that's going to be your downfall, because it's actually your silence. It speaks louder than all the words. And remember, I told you, I said, I'm going to know if you really have changed and turned a new leaf. I'm going to know, because, you know, these people, oh, Zeus, I've told you before, there's things Donald Trump doesn't do. There's things Trump does. And Dame does this too. Dame does it too. There's things Donald Trump does that we don't go for. Yeah, that's how we gonna run this operation. Now, yeah, we're gonna be the people that disagree with Donald Trump when he's wrong, but we also gonna be the people that still support him. Something's wrong with your MAGA minds. Something's really wrong with the MAGA mindset out there, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's go out here, ladies and gentlemen, and hold on, all right, and have some conversations, all right? Let's see, bear with me. Okay, moving along. Who do we have first? User, I don't know if user 248. User, did you send a request on purpose, or was this an accident? Good morning, user. User, are you there? Hey, user, are you there? I guess that was an accident. All right, let's go to up here. Edward, good morning, Edward. Welcome to the show. Hi, Edward.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
I'm all right. How have you been?
No, I've been good.
Okay.
I'm sorry I didn't request up, but since I'm up, I'll get out of this echo here. Okay, now I'm outside.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Sometimes I see you in the comments section, and it seems like you're with me, and then there's other times where it seems like
I am with you.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
I voted for Donald Trump. I'm not arguing against that. But I voted for a change. You know, I just exercised my right, whether I was right or wrong. Was I wrong in voting for him? Yeah. But I exercised my right. I don't want to be crucified for making, you know.
How many times did you vote for him, Edward?
Twice.
What years? What years?
Oh, no, I did not vote for him. I voted for him against Hillary and this past time.
So you voted for him. Did you vote for Biden in the middle?
Yes, I did. You know, I vote the way to me the country's going. You know, I mean, he had no right being the president when Biden was in there. I mean, you know, when he ran against Biden, he did right by the stock market when he was in there. You know, I was working, my pension went up. You know, it was great. So that's why I, liked him at the time. But he did a lot of bad things. And I knew who he was. I'm from the Northeast originally, so I've known about Donald Trump since the '70s.
So you know how dirty he is.
Yes, and how all men in power are. I mean, they use their power. It's just what they do. I'm not a man of power, not a man of influence, but I know who's who.
I'm just, I'm an old fashioned type of person, right? If I like you, I like you. If I don't, I don't, right?
Right.
And I get that, people at the top tend to already kind of come with the whole "you're all crooked and corrupt" thing, but I just struggle honestly to kind of have compassion because I look at it and I go, how could you have forgiven him after his first term? Like, I'll give anybody,
Well,
okay, you voted for Trump the first time.
people all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, how could you forgive him after his first term?
Has nothing to do with forgiveness. I could care less about him. It's the direction of the countries that I care about. It was the ebb and flow. They just went too far left, with the pronouns and the cancellations. And it bothered me. So I voted. He was like a necessary evil, but I didn't think it was this evil. But again, it was just my thoughts. So I vote with my conscience, and to say, everybody is right or wrong today. Why are they right or wrong? It was just it's the way I voted. Is it right? No, not today.
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't. So, but here, because I always, you always have to go back, look at the highlight film, and then go, okay, where were the mistakes made? Right? You have to be able to do that in order to get on the pathway towards so to speak, redemption. And so, I want to go back to 2016, and I'll say this: you could have voted for him. I get it. However, you don't remember what he did with the impeachment. You don't recall what he did with C-19, and you don't remember how he left office January 6th. Did that all just kind of evaporate from your memory?
no, it didn't evaporate from my memory, but it was more of a personal thing. I seen people that had 20 years that I worked with, and all of a sudden, some young kid comes in there. He's got 2 weeks of service, and because he didn't say one thing, he said one thing out of whack, the guy gets fired. That's wrong to me.
Is this kid white? Is this kid
to me,
white? Is this a white kid this happened to in your scenario?
It was a white kid that happened. Yes, it did. It was. Yes, and it's was it a racial word at the time? Yes, it was. Yes, it was a racial word.
Okay, and I'm picking up on the things you're saying because you're tapping into what I call the fragile white man's ego, and actually it's transcended now. It's most of the men now they've adopted it because a lot of people, like brothers, for instance. And I put a picture of it up. When they look in the mirror, instead of seeing the man in the mirror, they see the man in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have this situation. So somewhere in America, you've came to a conclusion based on your interactions in the spaces you frequent that America has gone too far to the left. Because in your world,
to the left, just the cancellation. I'm Italian. This statue has been in my neighborhood for, I don't know, forever, as far as I knew. And they tore a Christopher Columbus statue. They tore it down. And I was there today. They did. And you got these young kids in their 20s. They know nothing about nothing. And they're saying all this stuff about how he was
but
him and everybody else in the world at that time.
Okay, but look at how that's
it's a
bizarre.
personal thing.
That's bizarre because usually the generation coming up, they don't really influence policy. It's usually the older generation that's in a position to actually make those changes happen. So the kids, they, in my opinion, they might have been happy about the statue, but they weren't the ones pulling the strings in that scenario. You know what I mean? This is
no, absolutely not. But they were the puppets at the end.
No.
Go ahead.
The kids are innocent in this. I mean, but morally speaking, you can understand why people don't want to.
Oh, they seem pretty armed. Seem pretty.
We know Christopher Columbus. We know Christopher Columbus was a dirty guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can understand why.
And probably 90% of the world was dirty at that time.
So what's the difference between, let's just say, your dirty guy and my dirty guy? You see what I'm saying?
Nothing. But the thing has been there forever. Wait till I die.
No. So I bring that up to you because I'm trying to help you understand where you went wrong, Dak. I'm trying to help you understand where you went wrong. You went wrong
again.
Because,
I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, because you voted for Donald Trump the third time. You skipped him the second time, but you went back to him, right? So I'm trying to help you because I wanted to know if you have the ability to self-correct, Edward. And it seems to me like you're missing the things that are important in your assessment of reality. So I'll just say it like this. You did not want to evolve as a person. You felt comfortable in being Edward.
I was perfectly happy the way I am. My own little world. That's correct.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's not how civilizations advance. Right? And you
absolutely not. That's right.
So what if I were, and I'll just give it to you in a way you can understand. What if I were to keep selling you cars that were made in 1930 and guess what? We're living in the year 2025, going into 2026. Would you be thrilled about buying an old car that's still kind of going along with the same thing that was happening in the 30s? Or would you kind of be like, you know what? I want something that shows we've actually learned from a lot of the mistakes in the past and get to a place where, you got a little bit more of something reliable. Which way would you go?
Well, I think that was just a bad analogy with the cars because to me, the cars are all the same today. And I think the people are all starting to think the same way.
Okay,
people cars had style at one time.
Edward,
I'm just saying.
Edward.
I said it's a bad analogy with the cars.
Edward, there's a difference.
I'd love an old car.
Edward, there's a difference between a horse and a buggy, all right? And there's a difference between a Ford Model T and a car today that runs on electricity, Edward. Please
we ain't talking about Model Ts.
No, please stop lying up here on TikTok, all right? You understand that there's a difference. You got to evolve. And so this is where the fragile white male becomes an issue. Y'all don't want to evolve. And that mindset, Edward, is why you're in the situation you're in. And I just gave you that advice. Normally, I normally charge people, Edward, for this. And so the danger that I think we're in as a country is we have a lot of people that has your mindset. I don't know if you've done the work to unpack this, but you should never want to be the same person you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? If you are, that means you're not growing. You're literally a burden on society.
I'm definitely growing. I'm a grandfather now. I wasn't a grandfather.
No. You don't really have to do anything to be quite, a grandfather. You just have kids and then the kids have kids. That's not the work though. The work is understanding that, you know what? Maybe when I was growing up, things like this were acceptable. And this is why I say you missed a good mentor in Joe Biden. This is a man who obviously had to let go of a lot of things that he learned in order to rise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My age, he's the same age as me and all. Yes.
Hold on. And he evolved. So he was in a way a role model for a person like you to understand.
In public. You think he's really the same person not in public?
If that's where your mind goes, Edward.
That's where my mind goes. Okay. Politicians, they do what they got to do. I get it.
Edward. A person could be whoever they want in public or in private. My point to you is all we have is what we have. All right? We see Joe Biden in public behaving this way. We've seen him in public behaving another way. And what I'm trying to point out to you is his public presentation over the years has shown he's evolved. He understood holding on to this fragile white male ego stuff was bad for the country. And he did the right thing. And he said, I'll do the work that it takes to evolve. I might not be perfect, but I'll do the work. Do you get what I'm saying? And this is the problem.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but politics is not a big deal in my life.
No. And so what I'm going to do is finalize this lesson. And again, I normally charged it. This is where you went wrong, Edward. This is where you.
What had to do with right or wrong?
I'm not even crucifying you yet, but I'm breaking it down.
I don't care.
You went wrong, Edward, because you had the opportunity in 2016 to try it out your way, and it didn't work. You saw the way he left this country after the 4 years. It was a complete
mess. My stock market went up, so it did work. Edward, I'm living off it today.
Edward, zip it. Zip it. Because at the end of the day, look at where you're at right now. You are supporting a P3DO.
Oh, my God.
And again, Edward, you come to my show all the time. That's why
How am I supporting him? I'm not supporting him.
No.
I voted for him. I'm wrong.
Okay,
another 3 years, somebody else will be in there.
Okay, Edward.
And the other half of the country will be wrong.
Edward, this is what I'm trying to say. You did the damage. You got him in the White House. That's on you, Edward. Whether you like it or not, Grandpa. You
honestly didn't think he had a chance.
Edward, you put him in the White House. You helped to put him in the White House. Own it. And the reason you did it, and I don't want to crucify you, but you're having a very difficult time understanding this, is because you refused to learn from the mistakes of your past. You refused to do the work to become a better person. And you allowed yourself, you allowed yourself to be convinced that you were the victim of Democrats taking the country too far left. And you couldn't.
I wasn't a victim.
And yes, you were.
I sufficed them tearing down the statue by voting the way I voted.
Edward.
So that satisfied me.
Edward, that shouldn't have even bothered you. Honestly, you should have been focused on leaving the country behind for your grandkids in a better condition than it was when you got it. You should have been focused on that, Edward, but you made it all about Edward. In a moment where Edward should have said,
kids ain't got a chance today.
Edward, you already lived in your teens, you lived your 20s, 30s, you probably already did your 40s and 50s. You've lived your life.
I'm in my 70s.
Yeah. So you couldn't stop for 1 second and take any accountability and say, this isn't about Edward anymore. This is really about the next generations of people in this country. I had my fun in the sun, but guess what? We got to learn from the mistakes that we made growing up and let the next generation take it to the next level. You refuse to do that.
And this country always does. We always move on from
Edward, so you got triggered about a statue being taken down. You got triggered by a statue getting taken down, and
that's one thing.
Well, I know there's multiple things, and then you saw Kamala Harris, and your mind just couldn't come out of that state of shock paralysis, perhaps, and you went and put Donald Trump right back in the White House, and so here we are, almost 10 months into his administration, Edward. And you're dealing.
I think there's a lot of people that didn't vote that put him in the White House.
No, Edward. I'm not talking about them. We're talking about you. So here we are. Here we are, almost 10 months into the administration, and now you're getting hit with a huge reality that you, using all of your knowledge and your expertise, went and voted for a man that was a dirty person, the dirtiest of the dirty. You see what this is at? You see what's going on now? And you can't just simply say, I put him in there, but I don't support him anymore. That absolves me. You can't do that. You have to own this.
It doesn't absolve me. I have one vote and I exercise it. And that's what America's about.
But you don't
But nobody respects that. They're wrong. If they voted Democrat, they're wrong. If they voted Republican, they're wrong. Nobody's right. It just depends what team you're on.
Edward. You're wrong because
the country's in big trouble.
Edward, you know what the word blame stands for? It stands for Ben lying and making excuses. You know what denial stands for? It stands for don't even notice I'm lying. You're doing all these things, Edward, except for taking accountability for your own conduct. And
I accept it. I voted for him. As I said, what's the problem? I exercise my right as an American.
Yeah, but you were wrong, Edward. You put your children and your children's
What's that got to do with anything? There was a lot of people that were wrong.
Edward,
next time you'll get it right.
Edward, you put your children and your children's children in harm.
No, I didn't. No. They're little babies. They got a long time to reprimand.
You think so?
They're just little kids.
So, Edward,
they might learn from this. Maybe they'll learn from this.
You don't want to take any accountability today? I've literally
accountability that I voted for him, yes.
But you
that I made the country worse off? No.
So hold on.
The country's going to hell in a handbag, and I'm just watching it. I love this show, to see how people are so involved in politics. That never was in my day. People didn't even ask what political party you were. They didn't ask what religion you were.
Man, you're
today. That's
Edward,
right.
Edward.
72, man.
Edward, please, no more. I can't take it. You're 70 years old. I grew up. You're supposed to respect your elders.
72.
Edward. Okay, 72. I grew up. I'm supposed to respect.
Zeus, you have a lot of respect. I see how you treat people. I love your show. I think you're a good man. Doing the best you can.
Okay. But I'm not happy with you right now.
Yeah, but you'll get over it. There's other people.
Edward.
Good thing I'm not Christian. I'm Catholic.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Edward right
here. Thank you, Zeus.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Edward. It's disturbing. 70 years old and haven't learned a new thing. They're the saying, can't teach a old dog new tricks, and that's Edward. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Edward, who refuses to grow and evolve where he belongs. Edward, you better wake up, bro, before it's too late. Ladies and gentlemen, send Edward straight to hell. Goodbye, Edward.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
I'm not trying to be mean, Edward, but honestly, you're not going to get off the hook for voting for Donald Trump the third time and then saying, well, I don't like him now, and then think all is going to be good. No, I want a full accounting of your conduct, and I need you to be able to articulate it in a way that shows me you honestly understand where you went wrong, and right now you don't understand where you went wrong. It's Edward, and you don't care about your kids or your kids' kids. It's just Edward, and that's totally wrong. That's a huge W, Zeus. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? T, good morning, T. Welcome to the show. How can I help you? T, are you there? I guess T is no longer there. All right, fair enough. W Zeus, that's an easy one. All right. Let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to Keisha. Welcome to the show. How can I help you?
Hey, Zeus, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Just another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs.
Listen, the weather changed, and it's messing with my bronchitis.
Uh-oh.
But I wrote a little poem, Zeus. For the occasion, Zeus. And I want to read it to you because this is the occasion for the poem, Zeus. You ready? Okay. Joe Biden was a man that Trump said was sleepy. But he was the one out here being Jeffrey Epstein freaky. They complained about Barack wearing his tan suit. All the while Trump out here tooting up his dude. Michelle is a man, is what they keep saying. But the beautiful Melania could not keep Trump from swaying. Now he's flipping better than Simone Biles, trying to twist his way out them Epstein files. It's all in the email that he had another lover bending the knee for sweet, sweet Bubba. I'm so messy. I'm so messy, Zeus.
Wow, W Takesha.
Zeus, I'm so messy.
Wow. Wow.
I was just too petty for that, Zeus.
Wow, Takesha. That's spot on. I've never heard anything that magical, that diabolical. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Takesha. That's amazing. That's God's work you just did right there. I love that.
That was not God's work, Zeus. That was being messy. Stop it.
Oh,
Don't you attach God to my foolishness. No.
Flesh and blood did not reveal that.
No, Zeus.
To you, Takesha.
No, Zeus.
Trust me,
No.
I know it is.
I said no. Listen, Zeus.
Mm-hmm.
When all this stuff come out, because it's going to get worse, MAGA still ain't going to care. And that's going to be the sad part. They are not going to care. They're going to make excuses. They're going to try to come up with something. Now, all of a sudden, the man was a Democrat. What does that have to do with what that man put in his emails years ago when y'all was friends? That man ain't no use finna run for no president, and he didn't care.
Nope.
You was out there with that man, freaky deaky, and now you want to try to bring up here a Democrat. But see, that's how Trump keeps us divided.
Yeah.
Because he does it by party. So now the Republicans gonna swear, well, he was a Democrat. He did that to set Trump up. How would he know to set Trump up that Trump was gonna be a president? See, they don't critically think on the other side. That's why he said that he could tell them anything and they believe it. But you know who gonna pay for this, Zeus?
Who?
Venezuela.
Oh, really?
He gonna go attack them, Zeus. To get our minds off this Epstein file, he's gonna go attack them folks. Probably for the weekend out, Zeus.
Y'all think so?
Yeah, I do. I do. I really do. I think they're gonna
y'all
go
think he
ahead.
that desperate? You think so?
I think he's gonna go ahead and attack them folks. I really, really do. And I think it might be this weekend.
I mean, he did go and drop the boom boom on Iran. Remember that? Because they already lined it up. He did that to get out of the jam last time.
Yeah, I really believe they finna pay for these files. He got to get our mind off of these files, and I think he's gonna use them to do it.
Wow. And they said, Duke said Takesha called it last time. W Takesha. Do you think he's going to sign the discharge petition?
No, but I hope we have enough votes where we can override his veto. If you get enough votes in the House, you can override their veto. So they're saying that up to 100 Republicans in the House are saying they're gonna, sign on to it coming out.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see. But yeah, if they get enough, they can override his veto.
Thank you. Well, guess what? We're going to override that veto, and what we want to do is start holding people accountable for voting for Donald Trump. There's this new thing going on. They're saying they're not MAGA, they're Christians. What are your thoughts about that?
Anybody can be called a Christian. Let me say this, Zeus. I'm glad you brought that up because I had talked to the Lord about some things. Because when Dane was on your show the other day, and he said Jesus is Lord and Jesus is King, and then he accused you of talking about his mom and grandma because you said something about his religion. And he said, well, I was raised on those Christian values. You got to come off the titty, Dane. Get your own relationship and your own fellowship with Christ. You're not going to get in by saying, well, I was raised on Christian values. The problem with Dane is, Zeus, and I can tell he's never met Christ. Christ has never spoken to him. He doesn't even know what the voice of God sounds like because he doesn't take the time to listen. Dane listens, but Dane doesn't hear. That's the issue. He hurt my friend Cabria because she texted me that night. And it bothered me that she felt like she felt. But I'm going to say this, Zeus. All throughout the Bible, God never condemned the sinner. He didn't condemn the woman at the well. He didn't condemn the woman that asked for her daughter to be healed and said, even the dogs get the crumbs that fall from the master's table. He didn't condemn the woman caught in the very act of adultery, but he went in the temple and turned over tables. He called the Pharisees vipers. When people always say, well, he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of the people's over there being in the very act of being homosexual.
Yeah.
Well, Zeus, he asked a question.
Yeah.
He said, who? If I could find 10 righteous, I'll spare the city.
Yeah.
If I could find 5 righteous, I'll spare the city. If I could find 1 righteous, I'll spare the city. That let you know that people was over there proclaiming to be Christ-like that were not.
Amen.
He destroyed the city because his people were over there entertaining and doing what the other people were doing, Zeus. So my thing is this. We got to stop condemning people because of their religion. We got to stop, trying to come against people saying we so saved, because God always condemned the ones who said they were saved.
Amen. I know Takesha's talking to somebody out there. Somebody out there need that word right there because they
Judas
right now.
Judas walked with him and betrayed him. Peter denied him 3 times. They were his disciples. So you ain't perfect in your word. And if you think that because the Republicans say they against abortion, and they against, transsexual home, that makes them righteous, then you're confused, and that's why you over there. Stop saying Democrats are demons when the Lord say he'd rather have you hot or cold.
Yeah.
If you're lukewarm, he gonna spew you out your mouth. Okay,
you hear that, Edward?
Okay, so listen, Democrats are demons. They stand up for what they stand up for. The Republicans swear they stand up for what they stand up for, but they not obeying nothing in them 10 commandments. They want to throw in them schools. They ain't reading none of that Bible. They want to put in them classrooms, and they're lukewarm.
Amen. 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 WRC. Thank you. Tell them, Takesha.
So that's all I had to say. I didn't come on here to condemn Dame, but I want Dame to understand, just because you say Jesus is your Lord and all that, you have to be careful what you say. Because I sent Nutty a scripture, and it was Colossians. I did.
You going into the survival scroll.
It was Colossians 4 and 6, Zeus. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to let it go. It said, let your speech always be with grace, seasoned with salt, that you may know how you ought to answer every man. That means that you can pull people in with compassion, grace, and empathy rather than harsh words and calling them names. Learn that, Dane.
Amen. Amen.
All
amen,
right,
amen.
Zeus.
W. Jakesha. Thank you
Have
for
a
bringing
great
the good
day.
word. You too, sis. I appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. That's Takesha. No lies detected. No lies detected. See how that works? You see how that works. All right. Do we have anybody out there that supports Donald Trump that wants to get in the box? Any Trump voters out there? Go ahead and identify yourselves in the comment section. All right, please. It doesn't take long to find you. I just get you in here, get you out of here. All right, in record time, honestly. All right. Trump is guilty. Yes, I agree, Mr. Incognito. Donald Trump definitely is guilty. Oh, yeah, you have mad respect for that, sister. All right, fair enough. All right, fair enough. All righty then. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning. Who do we have? Yeah, good morning, Wakanda. Welcome, sis. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Another day, tending to the affairs. But they're saying I'm hurting feelings out here. Other than that, you're good.
Listen. It says in the Bible, it says open rebuke, Zeus, is what? Is better than secret love.
Oh, secret love. Remember that song?
That's what the scriptures say.
Yeah.
So, it's good that we, when you were talking to the older man,
Edward.
Was his name Edward?
Yeah.
Edward, there's a lot of
He could probably hear it from you.
white men.
He could hear it from you.
Well, maybe we can talk to him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of older white men that are hurt by progress, the wheels of progress, and the thing about it is, you have to move with the machine or you will get run over.
Boom.
Okay, and here's the thing, Edward. Here's the thing. Black people and brown people are tired of seeing and witnessing what we're witnessing. Okay, because we have put in the work. We have went to school. We this country was built on our backs. Okay, and we have been at the bottom for a long time. But the scripture also says the last shall be first. So what's happening is the country is switching over, and people don't like to see the progress.
Oh.
They feel like, oh my God, I'm being left behind. Look at what that person is doing. Look what that. Oh, they doing this, they doing that. Look what they got.
Coming up.
They're coming up, right?
Yeah.
And the gap is closing, right? Equality is coming, and they don't know what to do about it. And so what they did, Zeus, well, let me see. Oh, this white man, he want to take us back. Oh, he's talking about the olden days, make it a greater again. But when was the country ever great for everybody?
Thank you.
We know exactly what that phrase means, right?
Yeah.
So, Edward, sir, you say, oh, your kid's going to learn from this. It'll be all right. No, sir, it's not necessarily going to be all right. Because what this president is doing, he wants to push black and brown people back to the past and back into slavery. And I'm not stupid. I see exactly what Donald Trump is trying to accomplish. So, Edward, what you did was a travesty, and your children are going to suffer. Just like everybody else's. They say the good have to suffer with the bad. Amen. Yours is going to suffer too.
Yeah.
Because of the decisions you're making. And that's bad. That's a terrible thing.
Thank you. W. Wakanda.
Right?
Now, could you imagine his grandkids, how he interacts with them? He probably tells them, I don't like Donald Trump, and tries to make them feel better about suffering. Does that make them feel better if he just says that, even though they know he voted for Donald Trump? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing about it is, Zeus, you know what? If they look at him, if they really are smart children, they look at him and they can see it all over him. Because this ain't the first time he's done that, Zeus. Listening to him, this ain't the first time he's done that. Yeah. This ain't the first time they've seen his actions. He's probably said words that we can't say, that you don't say in public. They say behind closed doors.
Right.
They done heard him say some stuff that he ain't got no business saying.
What a disgrace.
And so they know what kind of person their grandpa is. And I'm hoping and praying that the kids, that his kids is raising them to know better. His kids are raising them to be better adults. I'm hoping. Right?
Yeah.
So, because, sometimes what you do, you have a racist parent, and then their children to see that and be like, I don't want to be anything like that. And then they'll raise their children to be better. So that's what we can hope for.
Yeah, I do hope so, and I do recommend that Edward take this feedback, because you don't have to give people like him feedback, all right? Because we would normally charge people lots of money to give this kind of feedback, but I hope Edward is listening.
Because black people. One thing about black people, we have a lot of wisdom, because we've seen a whole lot of stuff come and go, right, up and down. And the thing about it is, at the end of the day, we know how to survive in hard times.
Amen.
Right.
Yep.
Huh? We made out of. How the older people would say we made out of different stuff. Black people are made out of different stuff. Okay. So when we see hard times, we know how to make $1 out of 15 cents.
Amen.
Right. That's right. So we've been doing it for a long time. But what I came up here to talk to you about, Zeus, is what they're trying to sneak in at the moment.
What's that?
They're trying to sneak some stuff in, Zeus.
What's that?
There was a report this week, over the weekend, out of Oregon. A senator out of Oregon said they are trying to attach world nationwide AB into these proceedings that are going on in Congress right now.
Oh,
Have you
really?
heard
See, I
about
didn't
that?
know about that. No. They're trying to do a
They're
ban on
trying
it?
to do a nationwide ban on AB. Yes, sir. They're
Oh,
trying to
these
test
people,
it.
they always find a way to
They're
just.
trying to that back. They listen. They live and love the back door. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hey, I
And
like what
and
you
and
just
they doing it.
said.
They live and love. Yeah, under
But
the
we're not
cover of
gonna.
night, Zeus.
Wow. Why do you think they always
Yeah.
try to sneak stuff like this through?
Because they know if they did it in the light of day, they couldn't get it passed.
That part.
Listen, it's you know that in the demographics, it's more women in this country than it are men. And why are you always trying to put your foot on the neck of women in this country?
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
You know
where the conservative men at? They don't ever answer our questions. You notice that?
Mm-hmm.
No integrity.
And then they always want to say sweetie and baby when we start telling them, oh no, that's not gonna go down. Well, sweetie. No, I'm not your sweetie, I'm not your baby. What I am is highly educated and I'm here for the moment. I am here for this moment. You're not finna keep doing that.
Tell them. Jealous of women,
So, yeah, jealous of women coming up, because they see eventually if we keep getting closer and closer to leadership, and it scares them to unaliving. So, what we gonna do is, as women, we gonna keep going though. You're not gonna stop this. You got eventually. We gonna not only get to the door, we gonna break it down.
Amen.
Right.
Amen.
And so, as one of the 92%, we're not giving up. Okay. So I want y'all MAGA men, HAGA women, Blagga.
Yeah.
We want y'all to know you're not finna stop this. But I tell you what, 2026 is coming. And it's not gonna just be a wave. It's gonna be a hurricane and a tsunami mixed together. You're gonna get a typhoon up in the United States.
Thank you. Yeah, get them out of here.
Okay.
Seriously. Well, all right, sis.
And I'm finna go,
go,
Zeus, but I'm gonna drop this on you before I go.
Go ahead.
Somebody may not. I don't know if they're here because I didn't check, but it's somebody's birthday today, Zeus.
We have a birthday to celebrate today.
You know whose birthday it is today.
Yeah. Would it have to be somebody attacking the ignorance that someone just put?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll celebrate. Is attacking here? Attacking? Are you here?
I don't know, but he always he don't like to be celebrated. But he probably gonna tell me off later because I told him.
Okay, well, listen, attacking. Could you go make sure let me see if he's in the queue. Let me see if we can. I don't see him in my queue, but could you please do us a huge favor and find attacking so we can celebrate his birthday? That'll be a good way to wrap things up. To be honest with you, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give Wakanda a huge round of applause. No lies detected. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show. Who do we have next? There's so many. Let's see. This guest is already gone. All right, Knuckles. Come on up here, Knuckles. Interesting name. Welcome to the show. Yeah, Trump is guilty as far as I'm concerned. Good morning, Knuckles. How can I help you?
Knuckles? Is that me?
I believe so.
Oh, sorry about that, Seriously. I was shaving and all of a sudden I heard Knuckles. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Don't worry.
I'm so sorry, sir.
All right, no problem. Get back to shaving. All right, that's you, Knuckles. I don't know what you're shaving, champ. I don't know what you're shaving. Let's see. Let's move it along. All right. Kenny or Mike. Mike, I'm sorry. I guess I picked the wrong person. Mike, good morning. Welcome to the show. Mike. Y'all putting nasty emojis in the comment section. Please don't do that. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, look what the trash drug in. Look at what the trash drug in. This is 3 weeks solid begging to get in the box. What do you got that's so important?
Well, I'm trying to figure out that this whole Epstein email thing. What exactly did the emails prove he's guilty of?
Lying.
Besides more lies. Besides more lies.
There's nothing else besides that. The lies. Who and can you? What's that sound?
I'm going back. I stepped on a board. I'm heading back inside the building here. Hold on.
Okay.
Had to come
And
check the situation out.
Okay.
So
What could you describe in about a minute or so what your process was to review the emails and get to some sort of reasonable conclusion about?
The
What was your
process is trying to figure out. The process is trying to figure out why liberals are believing the words of two convicted sex offenders, trying to say Trump is guilty of something when there's over 1,000 victims and not one of them has indicted him on or said he did anything, and they're blowing off Virginia's testimony, saying that he didn't do anything.
Got it. All right. So what? Did
Why
you do
are you believing Epstein and Maxwell?
So what?
Why are you believing them?
Are you going to
wait? I have another question for you.
Okay,
I have another question for you. When you had
this is worse than DJ. This is
when you
worse
had
than DJ.
Michael up there, when you had Cohen up there, why didn't you ask him any questions about this? Why didn't you ask Cohen any questions about Epstein? Why not?
I did. I said, Cohen.
No.
Let me ask you a question. And then I said, you know what? I don't let Tiny Take Top Tim run the thing. All right. And I let him get it off. That's what he's been waiting 3 months to ask Big Zeus. Tiny Take Top Tim, you could have got that information just by Googling it, champ. What you just showed me is that you haven't learned a thing, and you volunteered it. I was itching to do it. I needed someone to use, and you were a great tool. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Tiny Tank Top Tim where he belongs. Where's Zeus? Back to hell.
Silence, you MAGA Damon.
Tiny Tank Top Tim, just answer us one question. Why are you still defending a P3DO? Just put it in the comment. Why are you still defending a P3DO? You can come up here and rattle off all the questions you want, champ, but none of us actually take that stuff seriously. It's disgusting, to be quite honest. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I knew he wasn't going to bring anything of substance to the kingdom, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me, all right? But as you can see, we're having a bit of an issue with the demons this morning. They don't want to get up here and try to defend their dear leader for some strange, very strange reason. Welcome to the show, Nutty. What do you got for me?
So good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
So I want to go.
I can't hear you.
So what was displayed with Edward? What was displayed with Edward this morning?
Yeah. Okay.
Was a bit of the fragility, the white fragility, because I don't know if you caught this when he was speaking on the Christopher Columbus statue. He said, "Why couldn't they take it down after I'm dead?"
What does that mean?
I don't know if you all heard that.
No, I didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so that meant. So what I took that as, you make me uncomfortable, and it's all about me. So that could have come down, despite the fact that this man, person, despite the fact of the atrocities that he committed to people, why could you not leave the statue up until I couldn't see it? Because what my comfort is, that's the only thing that matters. That's what I heard when he said that. And the fact that we have a generation now that has the information at their fingertips, where they don't have to pick up a encyclopedia or a thesaurus. They don't have to go and do the research like we had to do back in the day, where we had literally had to go pick up books and we had to read. They can just literally type something into this little thing called a computer, and the information comes up instantly. The fact that we have a generation that now uses that, and they use the information that they get, that they receive, and then they speak their truth to power.
Yeah.
That makes him uncomfortable. And let's just face it, change is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But change is good.
Yeah.
So
Edward, are you
I'm
listening,
gonna get off
Edward?
Edward there because
Well, you were giving him
yeah.
free advice. I
So
wanted to make
I
sure
have a
he at least was respecting the fact that you took time out of your busy life to say that to him.
it is what it is. But I have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
We keep talking about. Before I go to my theory, the reason why 5X continues to support and defend a 3PDO is because he's one. Anyone who support and defends this nonsense, this messiness, they defend it because they defend what they are. They defend what they condone. So it's easy for them to defend it because they see nothing wrong in it. So that's why they defend it. So moving on.
Wow.
My theory. We see
W,
Donald
Daddy.
Trump and the Republicans continuing to try to block the release of all of these files, right?
Yeah.
And we keep asking ourselves, why? Why is it? If you have nothing to hide,
Right.
why not just release everything, right?
Right.
So I go back. See, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's hard not to be when you see things come into perspective. I now question if the man, the myth, the infamous legend himself, Jeffrey E., I'm starting to question if he actually took his own life. Because why would he take his own life, Zeus, when the man was a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
He was a billionaire and he had all of this information that he could have given prosecutors. And quite frankly, I believe that sharing this information and his wealth alone would have gotten him not a long sentence.
Yeah.
So why would he take his own life? Why? Because he had the wealth and he had the information proving that this man that some call president,
this guy right here,
is more of the devil than even he was, and he knew he was the devil.
Does anybody think he took his own life? Does anyone out there think Epstein took his own life? I want to double check with the audience because some people don't know about it. Oh, Brittany, you do?
So Zeus, the fact that he's gone and that he can't speak orally with his own voice any longer.
Right.
They didn't bank on the fact that he was meticulous in his record keeping. So now that he's gone, they thought that when he was gone, that was the end of
Yeah, because dead people don't talk. Yeah, dead people don't talk.
Correct.
That's what they thought.
But he is talking from the grave.
Wow.
He's talking.
And
from
Trump's
the grave.
name is all. And Trump's name is all in his mouth. I've never seen so many emails about one person in my life. You know what I'm saying?
So,
I'm like,
so
he had so
this,
many
Zeus.
people he knew, but Trump was like dead center involved. It's crazy.
Clock this. How is the devil going to call somebody else the devil? See, only the devil knows who the devil is. And the fact that he kept calling out Donald Trump, in all of those emails, like you said, 15, 25 years ago, he didn't know that he was going to need this information. But what he knew was he couldn't trust Donald Trump, but he kept Donald Trump around because it's better to keep your enemies closer than your friends.
True.
See, I don't believe that Jeffrey was actually Donald Trump's friend. I believe Epstein was actually truly Donald Trump's friend because Donald Trump is dumb. But I believe Epstein knew that he had to keep Trump close because he instinctively could not trust Donald Trump.
Wow.
So that's just my theory, just my thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm now questioning if Jeffrey actually took his own life. Because why would a billionaire, someone who has access to wealth, not only have access to wealth and can hire the best legal representation, but with all of this information that he has or that he had to share, why would he take his own life? I don't believe it anymore.
I don't believe in anything
I don't believe it.
anything coming out of this administration. Not a thing. All right, because look at the record, their track record. You can't trust them on any single issue, and Epstein is just the latest issue. But I think you're losing your connection, Nutty. And so what we'll do is we'll leave it at that. Give Nutty a huge round of applause. Thank you, brother. Who do we have next? All right. Good morning, Mama Sherry. Good morning. How are you? Mama Sherry, are you there? I can't hear you. Are you there? I'm not anyone able to hear her? I can't hear her. All right, Mama Sherry, we will move it along. Who do we have next? Oh, look at this. Hold on. Who is this? Oh, I thought I saw our friend Angus. Angus, I thought you were coming up. You wanted to come up here for once and identify who you really are to all of us in the kingdom, and then Angus left. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and give Angus a round of booze and shame. All right. Tried to be scared. Hi, Angus.
Silence.
Yeah.
You
Angus. Angus doesn't want to be exposed at all because they know their days are numbered supporting Donald Trump. All right. Good morning, Jimmy. Welcome to the show, Jimmy. Welcome. Jimmy. Jimmy, are you there?
I didn't do that.
Yeah, you did.
I was.
Oh, okay. You did do that, Jimmy, but I got you. All right. That was an accident. People actually wake up and then they send me, they hit their guest request, and then next thing you know, how did I get up here? Good morning, Mama Cherie. Are you back? Are you there?
Sorry about that. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I can hear you. Welcome to the show. How can I help you?
Sorry about that. I stepped away. I thought my dog hit the button.
Oh no. Okay, I get it. I thought it was my connection for the most part.
Oh no. I apologize. A lot going on. As you know, I'm not a Trump supporter. I could never vote for him.
Smart. Good.
I voted for Harris.
Thank
you. I
you.
have one concern, / question, only from personal experience. We all know he's guilty, one way or another with the Epstein files. But if
you believe that, because Tiny Tank Top Tim just got up here and is singing a completely different tune.
Yeah, he's always singing a different tune.
Okay, fair.
I'll be nice.
No. You can speak your mind, speak your truth, all right. But I don't want to throw you off your idea, your point you were making.
I just don't understand how anybody could vote for him. I mean, and sit there and continue to defend and support him after everything he's done. But my concern from personal experience, because we all know he's not healthy, and he is showing signs of some form of memory impairment, such as dementia or Alzheimer's. And from experience with a family member, that was essayed as a small child. As she got older, she went to proceed to press charges on the perpetrator. And when they found him, it's unfortunate that he was in a nursing home in a wheelchair with dementia. So the authorities told her that they could not go forward with charges because of that. And that's what concerns me about Trump. Once they find him guilty, although he has yet, that we know of, been diagnosed, officially.
So your concern is Donald Trump, because
I want to see him held accountable.
Yeah, a cornered animal will do anything, right? You know that, right? We all and I would honestly say his ability to be in the White House right now is a testament of that. Him being cornered You've seen him unleash the beast on his base in America,
Absolutely.
and you're going, "Wow, this guy can't be caught. He's kind of got like some sort of special force around him, force field, and he'll do anything. Butler incident. I call it an incident at Butler because I don't believe what he said happened there. All right, I don't believe that. January 6th, you know what he did, and then how did he dodge 91 criminal charges? So here we are. The discharge petition is headed his way. And what you're concerned about is we might get hit with the old auto pen routine, right? It's basically the same thing he's been accusing Joe Biden of, right? Is that what you're concerned? And this might be his get out of jail pass, get out of jail free ticket. Well, that is a reality that we must actually, that I think about it. That's something that could be on the table. I think Donald Trump would do anything, honestly. He'll do anything to avoid being held accountable. But you know what? I'd rather see him try to dodge this than to not pursue this matter, all right, to the highest level and take out all the people who've been trying to cover for him, all right? That's what we got to do.
We definitely need to hold him accountable. And
absolutely.
I mean, even just getting him out of the White House and getting us, the American people, out of danger.
Yeah.
Because right now, from one day to the next, he's not trusting. He's a very dangerous man, and it scares me of where he sits.
Well, that's why we, and it shows like this where we have to look the danger in the eye, and then you say, you know what? When this is all said and done, the history books are written. We all are going to have to tell our version of what happened and, make that personal decision to say, when it happened, I was one of the ones that stood up to this evil, deranged tyrant and his loony, unchristian-like, hateful, evil base that are still. We stood up to these people. We might be the ones, Mama, to actually be going on record and saying we stopped this demon from ruining a country. All right, and we know there's nothing he and they won't do to try to stop. But it's honestly good things we have conversations like this because I know that in one way or another it gets the truth out there. Mm-hmm. You know what? And it inspires other people to get up and do what they need to do. And so
that's
don't give up
on its own for sure. But I would definitely like to see him be held accountable, not just for that, for many other things he's doing.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, and that's why we got to win the midterms. Because I firmly believe once the Democrats get in, and they go, well, what do the Democrats stand for policies right now? I'm going, what we need right now is a full, accurate accounting of all of the crimes that have been committed since January 20th, all the way on by the Trump administration. And if Donald Trump uses the I got dementia trick and that gets him out, that's not going to work with everybody else who's been complicit. We want real, unadulterated justice. I want to know how much money every single one of these crooks stole. Look at me, I caught myself. How much did they each steal? And then we need to go ahead and do a penalty assessment because you put interest on stuff like this in the real world. No, and then layer that with some time in a layer it with some time, all right? Especially, and just have congressional hearing after congressional hearing, WG man. And I want to know what they all have done. And that's what this is about. So come midterms, I don't want anybody getting weak in the knees. Oh, because this is what they say. Oh, the Democrats caved. And I feel a certain type of way about it, but we'll deal with that after. We got to deal with the caving thing after. We got a way bigger issue on our hands. Get through the midterms and take back over control of the government, and then every day I want to just sit back. I don't even want to have to go live anymore. I just want to be able to watch the TV and smile, honestly.
Exactly. I think we all deserve to breathe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously.
I have my feelings as far as the Democrats caving. I feel like they caved, but I also feel like they didn't. I believe that there's something up their sleeve.
Yeah.
Something is gonna come down those pipes.
That's a good way to look at it then. To be honest, whatever you got to say to yourself.
I am disappointed. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, we can be all those things, but let's not lose sight of the mission. All right. I don't want to see anybody wavering. I mean, It's that serious. It's that serious
is,
where
it is.
unfortunately, and you know how things go in warfare. Every day you don't wake up and you're scoring and you're winning. No, there's going to be very, very difficult days, but you got to understand we're really in somewhat of a battle.
Mhm.
And there's going to be ups and downs, but listen, stay focused on the mission. So that's how I feel about it. All right.
I mean,
Sherry?
in all reality, too, I don't want to just see him being held accountable. I want to see everybody that protected him.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
held
Well, that's why we got to
accountable. I
get
don't
out there
care
and
who
make
they
sure we
are.
elect.
Except
Yeah. We know who they
keep
are.
voting blue.
Amen.
Keep
All
voting
right.
blue. We got to fight this no matter how tired and how much we lose faith or hope. We got to keep fighting and
huge, though.
stand together.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what?
We
Let's
only
stop
have each
saying
other
it.
right now.
We got to stop saying it. We got to stop saying it. I just thought of this. Thank you to the I don't think we should say the Democrats caved anymore, because that opens the door to making them believe Zeus is weak. And I don't ever cave. Actually, in my song, I said I'll never fold. So no, that's never going to be something I'll repeat anymore because I don't play for teams. I don't work with teams that fold and cave under pressure. What we're going to do is use what you just said. We decided to, change priorities in order to get the win another different way. All right. That's how I look at this. All right. We changed priorities, but we're going to get that W. All right. That's a huge W. That's a huge W, Zeus. Huge W. And Mama Sherry. All right. Now, thank you. All
No,
right.
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's my good friend, Mama Cherie. All right. Give her a huge round of applause. No. Lies detected. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Who do we got next? All right. Good morning. I dropped myself. Wow. Oh wow. Good morning, Ange. Good morning, Ange. I dropped myself. Oh well.
Do you need to get yourself back up there? I'll give you time.
Nah. We'll do it. We'll do it. We're gonna do it this way.
Okay. So I just want to say, and maybe this has been said by many people, I think we're also interested in these e-files and we really want to see what he has done. And I'm always going to say, like, allegedly, just to cover my behind, but
Yeah. Disclaimer.
y'all know what I think, pretty sure, after doing these lives. And
We all think it.
but I'm just always covering my behind because we know how TikTok is. I've seen some other hosts just dropped for saying less than that. But, we got to remember we have, well, they say survivors, and it is, but to me also, they were victims and then became survivors. We're talking little girls here. We're talking little girls. And I think for any of us, that hurts. Right now, my daughter is the exact age of what these girls were when it happened to them. So I just look at her every day and it's just giving me this like ick feeling. It's just really, it makes me nauseous. It does. But the other thing real quick, probably a lot of people saw it, was that video that Dean Withers has out there where the man was saying, why can't we grape girls? What's wrong with probably a lot of people have seen that. It's on X and everything. This man was legit. He was saying, what's wrong with grape? Why can't we grape them? And with all of the gross people like Fuentes and all of them, with all of you MAGA letting this slide yet again, we are creating like grape culture, even more so than it's already been accepted. This is my fear. You all said that was going to be the line for you, and it's not. You don't, it's not enough in there. He didn't do this. Well, it's not done. What I've seen is enough, and it should be enough for you, but it still isn't. And just a couple of statistics. There are 1,871 women raped daily in this country. 1,871. It's 61% are girls under 18 years of age. 18. Just let that sink in for a second, MAGA. Because I know y'all have some daughters out there. Do you ever just think about it for 1 second? And I said it, and I'll say it again. Queen Flea, I agree with you. This is why we do choose the bear, 100%. Thank you for putting that in there. I agree with that. But you people, I am getting to the point where I truly think you would let this man alone with your child and you'd let it happen. That's how much you worship a person. This is how you know you are a sick, sick person, to leave your child with this man and probably not even care if he did it to them. Your own dang child. I've been watching these lives. I've been listening to you sick, mostly men, but you have your haggis out there. They're out there. And I there's a part of me that makes me, yeah, look at that. I'd never even let him come in the 3-foot proximity to my children. But
This is
these,
child endangerment, isn't it?
it
I mean,
is.
right after the emails dropped, some random parent in the United States, I don't know, did this publicity stunt with Donald Trump. How?
Yeah, because I have a question for you, Zeus. Do you really think like that they don't know, or is it just they just don't want to see it? They don't want to admit they're wrong. What do you think? Or all of the I don't know anymore.
It's the culture. It's their culture, At this moment, you just have to wonder how deep is that pond, so to speak, those water. How deep are those waters when it comes to folks' ability to tolerate stuff like this? WG, man. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
DJ,
man.
there's DJ. He won't say nothing about this.
No,
Remember,
he won't. And
and this, yeah.
who up here said, "Oh, about Tiny Tank Top, whatever the hell his name is, or we call him." Who? You know what? Oh my goodness! That's for you. Anyway,
It's for you.
Oh, why? Thank you, Tara. I forgot what I was saying because I get all this love in here. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying, but yeah,
You were talking about who talked to Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, and what he had brought up when he came onto my platform. You know what I'm talking.
Yeah, somebody in the comment section said, yeah, probably because that's what he is too. Probably that's exactly what he is too. And I'm sorry. You can, allegedly.
That's so sad. That's so sad that you would feel that way about a fellow American. Does anybody believe that most MAGA men, WG men, do other people feel the same way about MAGA men out there?
They're standing up for it.
I'm just asking the audience, right? Because, it's one thing when I say it, but I'm just curious.
Like Cat Daddy just said, birds of a feather. Perfect way to put that. I just saw Z-Pac join. I saw him try to talk to some of the people on the right after this happened. They immediately just went straight to defending him. And these were all the ones, oh yeah, we find out if it's him or anybody. We're just going to throw them under the prison. Well, you know what? When I say it, I mean it. They're talking about Bill Clinton and Bubba and some weird things going on there. I don't know what the heck that's. Zeus, I can't say that on TikTok. There's some really weird stuff coming out about that. But any of them, all of them, anybody who touched a child or really anybody forcibly, just go put them under the prison, and you were still sitting over there defending it. Well, what about this and what about that? And they haven't really proved anything yet. Well, he was left alone with a younger girl for a period of time. For me, that just brings up red flags. Huge red flags.
Yeah,
Sorry.
What grown man wants to be left alone with an underage person that's in
not
Epstein's
a relative?
circle?
Yeah, in that circle, not a relative, nothing. I barely would leave my daughter with hardly anybody.
Anyone.
And
Yeah.
certainly not Donald Trump. But we have figured out there is no red line there for you. So when you come to my lives, Angela's been nice for years, and I'm not going to be nice to you. If you come up, this is your warning, and you come up and you try to defend this in any type, I'm going to say,
Okay.
bye, B, and drop them. I can't do it anymore.
Now, there's another thing that's been bothering me lately. I go into these conservative spaces,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the MAGA women, they get up there and they tell me I shouldn't be so worried about this kind of stuff, and they actually say they don't have an issue with the whole thing, because guess what? According to them, nothing proves Donald Trump did anything. If anything, it actually shows he stood up to Jeffrey and cut him off because, kicked him out of the club. That's nothing in there is incredible. What do you say to those MAGA women out there that are still covering for dear leader?
They're stupid and they don't care about their own children. And if they've said that, they've told you that you shouldn't care. Is that what you told me?
Yeah, because it's a distraction, right? They believe this is all of the hoax and stuff, but I can't ignore it when I know Ghislaine Maxwell. She played a role in it, and she's a woman.
Yes,
So
I'm
that's
glad
where
you
my
questioned her. Yeah,
right.
yeah. I really knew she was a whole piece of crap because she was convicted 20 years, the whole nine. I thought she was the woman that was, that lured them in, what we call the groomer, and served them up on that silver platter to these men. She actually also participated. And now she's in Club Fed with an emotional support dog and getting fed whatever the heck she wants. Like, what are we doing here? How are we going to defend that? She's convicted. This is convicted woman that has done this. And they all know she's sitting down there and she's trying to get pardoned and commute all these things. And part of me, go ahead, Donald Trump, let her out. I dare you. Go ahead. Let her out. That's going to show what you really are. Can you imagine? I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but if he did that, if that doesn't open your eyes, if you're going to let her out, why do you think she's kissing up to him right now?
Just because one thing I learned is if and Tiny Tank Top Tim, go check this out yourself in your AI tool. He was communicating with Ghislaine Maxwell. She knows how to actually connect those emails to paint the full picture. You know what I mean?
Yes, she does.
The emails alone, he's cooked. He's cooked alone with the emails. But imagine, because now the DOJ is saying they didn't know about the emails when they moved her, right? This is what they're saying now. They didn't know. They took her at her word when Todd Blanche sat down and talked with her. But now, Ghislaine, you didn't tell us about these communications you were having with Jeffrey on the under, and now we're in a bit of a predicament, right?
They took her at her word after what she's done and been convicted of. We're just going to take that woman at her word. I mean, she's being treated better than my son when he went to boot camp. Seriously, she's just down there doing literally whatever she wants. But part of me says, you know what? Let's see what they do. Yeah. Let her out. Let Donald go ahead, do it. Show him the full and you know what? Somebody on the outside will take care of her. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I know maybe that sounds too much, and it's a weird take. My husband and I had a slight, argument on that one. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
They've already brought her from maximum security to that.
Yeah.
Why? So if he takes it that next step, to me, that would tell all. But yet, on the other hand, I just said they don't have a line. So I kind of contradicted myself a little bit there. But it's a lot. It's a lot for everybody. It's a lot for women and men who are survivors. We've got to remember that as much as we want these people to have accountability, we also, we need to be thinking of what these women, with all of this, it's all coming back up and what they're going through. But I've rambled. So I'm going to go.
You got it all. All right. Well, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to the beautiful Ange. No lies detected, and Bald are us. I saw you got triggered. You got triggered by what Ange said. Okay, Bald are us. You got triggered by what Ange said. Come on up here, Bald. Come up here and you need a napkin or something. You want to cry about how she just exposed it and laid it all out there for you, or are you trying to come up and actually repent? He doesn't want to do it. All right. So Bald are us. Since you decided to find your feelings this morning, look at him right there. Look at him. Oh, Ange hurt his feelings. Oh, Ange, please don't hurt my feelings. Oh, okay. Well, listen, Bald or us. Ange may have hurt your feelings, but guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to hurt your backside. Pause. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Bald are us, who's got the most sensitive set of feelings I've ever seen this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Join me in sending him where he belongs, straight to hell. Thanks, man.
Rebecca Damon.
Fair enough. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. All right. Good morning. Tabitha, welcome to the show. How can I help you? That's a huge W. How are you doing?
Hey, I am doing okay. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I just
Okay.
wanted to do a quick PSA.
Fair enough.
I'm in a Charlotte-Mecklenburg area, and ice is pretty heavy out here. They've already been to the a high school. I'm out doing what I can, but if anybody is in the Charlotte area, I need help organizing. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get emotional, but
No,
I
you
need,
can
if
be.
anybody's in Charlotte and can be out here protecting people, it's going to get worse this weekend.
Wow.
I've been out for the last 2 days, and we need to organize and protect people, you guys.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you're giving Tabitha, follow Tabitha. She's boots on the ground in Charlotte. And you don't have to worry about, crying or anything like that, because I don't know how I would honestly react. I know there was a moment where they were going to come out here to the Bay Area, and then last minute it was canceled. But I do remember emotions got really high and tempers started to fly, because this is scary, knowing that these thugs, I call them criminals with badges. All right, these are criminals with badges descending upon innocent Americans.
Yeah.
To exact evil, vile, some sort of hate onto another human being, all under the guise of we're Christians.
It's insane. And it's just so everybody's aware, it's the same team that just left Chicago. So this is Bovino's team that's out in Charlotte right now. So please, if you're in the area, try to stay inside as much as you can this weekend. I have a team of people that aren't in the Charlotte area that are calling all the Mecklenburg County schools. If anybody can do that, because they've already been to one local high school here and have detained a few children from the school.
I
I'm
thought they were going
sick.
after the criminals.
They're not. I mean, I feel sick, and I'm.
This is sad.
I'm just so angry, and I've reached out to people in my I just need help organizing. Yeah. I'm just one person, and I have been driving, I think, for since yesterday. Every lead that I get, I'm going to. So if you're in the area, they're heavy in Concord, they're heavy in East Charlotte, Pineville area. They've been spotted a lot. So if you're in those areas, please protect yourself. Off of Brookshire Boulevard, they were on the overpass.
Wow.
So please just don't open your doors. Don't open your car door. I've got some cards. They're little red cards. They're in English and Spanish. They're Know Your Rights cards. If anybody needs those that wants to help, I'll meet with you and give you a bunch of those. Wow. But just know, I could use as much help as I can get. That's why I thought it would be a good idea to pop on here just in case everybody, or if anybody's in the area.
Anytime, because all it takes is a spark. Someone thinks and hears what you say, and then it goes to somebody else, and eventually the word gets out there. But I'm just going to encourage you, number one, stay strong in your resolve, because you're doing something that's truly heroic, honestly. But please be careful too, and take care of yourself. Get that camera on. I hope you got a camera going too.
I do. I have lots of videos and pictures.
Good. Because these people, I don't even want to call them people. These are creatures of ill will. I'm concerned because I know they're not doing what they say they're doing, and I know they're not who they say they are. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you can help out Tabitha, please do it.
If you're in the Charlotte or surrounding area and you can help get the word out, or if you can even be in front of a local school just to at least protect the kids, sit out there, anything you can do to just help support the community, I would be so grateful.
Yeah.
And you can DM me. I do my best to answer everybody.
You do.
So yeah, I mean, that's all I got. I am just so furious with this country right now.
I am too, but you know what? We're going to all stick together and make it through these difficult times, you know, using the wisdom and the knowledge we've learned, you know, from engaging in these people. And it's sad they leave Chicago in just total destruction. They brag when they leave and say they brought down crime. No, you didn't. You're not reporting the real crime. The real crime is what they're doing, and they don't report it the way that they should report it. So, and now they're going to go terrorize another city, innocent city that no one, I know no one there asked them to go there, but they're going there. What a disgrace. But we're not going to give up. All right, Tabitha, we're going to still keep putting in the good work it takes to save this country. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have a great show, and I'll keep everybody informed. If you're in the Charlotte area, please reach out to me, and I could use all the help I can get.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and give Tabitha a huge round of applause.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Stay safe out there.
I will.
All right, we're cheering for you, and let us know if there's anything we can do to help you. Seriously. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Tabitha a huge. That really does break my heart, and you just ask yourself, where are the conservatives, the Christians out there? You hurt a woman in distress and you did nothing. And don't worry about us don't worry about us seeing you. You got to worry about God seeing you. I've never been so disappointed to be an American. All right. Good morning. Good morning, brother Q Dog. Welcome to the show, bro. How can I help you? Welcome.
Hey, what's going on, bro? How
I'm doing great.
All
right.
Tabitha, I want you to DM me those locations. I will reach out to my headquarters, my Omega Sci-Fi headquarters, and see if the bosses can get some bros out there, especially to the schools. Just let me know exactly the cities, the schools, if possible, where you need the most help. And I'm calling on my Divine Nine brother, Nutty. Get in touch with your frat brothers, because at this point in time, we got to use the resources that we have, because this is getting out of hand. When you're causing problems when it comes to the children, I got zero tolerance for that. Zero tolerance. I don't care if you're ICE, if you're MAGA, if you're just a piece of scum off the street. We don't touch kids. We don't do anything to harm kids. So MAGA, if that's your plan going forward because you're spazzing out, trust me, we got more bros across the world than it's you. And I'm saying it to your face, 10 toes down. So whatever you need, Tap, just send me the DM and I will get in touch with my headquarters today. And that's all I got to say. Because this is ridiculous.
It really is. It really is. WQ Dog, ladies and gentlemen. It's like we found a way to sink lower and lower as a country, right?
It's ridiculous. And they going to the bottom of the barrel when it comes to their antics. They can't get what they want, so they going to go to the next best thing. I'm going to try to hurt anybody that is close to you. Where is the morals and the humanity, let alone manhood? See, we stand on manhood, and we ain't gonna let you do anything to any kids if we are in presence. I'm gonna tell you this, MAGA. You see purple and gold in your sights, you best go the other way. Because I got some young bros, I got some neos that don't have much sense. I'm telling you that now. Leave the kids alone. Leave the women alone. So yeah, we gotta get this on under control, because they're out of control at this point in time. Way out of control.
And to me, I don't want to hear. It's just disgusting. It really does make my stomach hurt. When will it stop? Is the question. When is it going to stop, man? What does success really look like at this moment? Because you're not doing anything you said you were going to do. Every number, every indicator that you're supposed to be rated on, you're not performing that well, and you're just getting worse. It's truly disgusting.
Appreciate it, Nutty. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, listen,
anybody that is a part of the Divine Nine, I'm calling on you. I'm calling on you to get in touch with your fraternity brothers, your sorority sisters, and make us presents. We got to make a presence today. Enough is enough. This is the end of the line. Y'all done did way too much, and now it's time to get y'all back in line, MAGA. And I'm so serious. And it ain't even a point of just calling them MAGA. It's maggots. It's disgusting people that feel that they can do whatever they want to do. Like I told, like that live that we were in with Janae the other day, Zeus, I think you left. I roasted her behind. Y'all want to use Trump as an excuse to become the biggest bigots that y'all can ever become on the face of this earth. We ain't going to allow it. We got too many strong black men and women, resources, and not only black men and women, we got some other ethnics in our Divine Nine. We got white T bros too. So don't get it twisted. This is enough. I'm so sick and tired. I had to take a breather yesterday, bro.
Yeah.
Like away from it. I had to decompress myself because day in and day out of this disgusting behavior is sickening to the core. And if you don't take a deep press on it, it can affect you mentally. I have surgery that I got to go into next week. You know about it. On Thursday. I had to take a deep press on it.
Yeah, you got to protect your peace.
Yeah.
You do, because this stuff, if you're weak, it'll expose that, all right? And that's why, so I'm glad you did that, seriously. You know, I'm not allowed, the TikTok, they suspended my ability to communicate with the DMs now because they said the Rizzler is too much. So, I understand warfare is coming at every angle, but we'll persevere.
Yeah, we got to use every resource that we can get our hands on at this point in time, because these folks they trying to get it's almost like a person in prison. They got all this time. They said the devil idle mind is a devil's playground.
Bingo.
These people in prison are the most intelligent and the smartest people that you can come across, when they can create different things out of nothing. Get a pen and piece of paper and create whatever, weaponry, whatever, because they have a mind that's just idling.
Yeah.
And they're trying to create. And that's what MAGA is. At this point in time, they're not trying to create anything of good. They're trying to create anything of destruction and havoc.
Wow.
So they got all this time on their hands instead of, it ain't no different than the video I seen with the makeup company. I'm trying to remember the name of it, that they took all this time to put $2 million into stopping that gentleman from becoming the mayor of
Zoran.
New York.
Yeah, I remember that.
Zoran of New York. You got all the stuff that you could have put money into when it comes to resources, even just with children to be able to eat.
Mm-hmm.
When people that do need EBT, that cannot eat, you decide to take your $2 million and create havoc.
Unleash hate on American people.
That's sickening.
That's sick.
And you think you're being triggered because Zeus is calling the wrath to you to throw you in the lake of fire? You got a bigger fish to fry with the man upstairs.
True.
You think you gonna get triggered? Wait till you gotta face Jesus one day.
Amen.
And you gotta tell him everything that you did that was against children and women and the elderly. You're sick. You're sick to the core. And I'll tell you to your face on TikTok or in person, you're sick to the core. And you got a problem. It's not an us problem, it's a you problem.
You problem. Get him, Q Dog, WQ Dog. And I know there's some brothers out there, sisters out there, they've heard you say that. And they hurt, bro. But you know what? You're right. Right is right, all right? And they're going to learn. They're going to learn. I hope they listening and hearing it because I know he's saying it. And they know who he's talking about. Again, WQ Dog. Now, I got to get up out of here, brother, all right? It's almost 9. I'm way past my time.
I just want to make sure that y'all have my DM, the ones that need help. And I'm gonna call out to my brothers, and we gonna make this happen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, it'll only take a phone call.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, show Q Dog some love. Dane, I know you heard what Q Dog said, Dane. This is a real brother out here looking after the women and the children, all right? And your little, it's the Democrats rhetoric, it is not going to stop any of this love that's being shared on this platform. Because this is all love. But what we don't love is we don't love the wickedness and the evil that the MAGA demon is bringing and unleashing on the country, all right? So that's another huge WQ Dog, huge W, Big Zeus.
No, we ain't.
Thank you, bro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? I'm well past my time slot. I got to get up out of here. Thank you all for tuning in. Happy Friday. Try your best to actually keep up the good work you're doing out there. I know it's difficult right now, especially Charlotte. ICE going to Charlotte. That just made me so upset. But, you know, this is another reason why you got to get out there and vote blue so that we can survive the midterms and then start having accountability. All right, thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Without you, this show wouldn't be what it is. Entertaining, engaging, and definitely very educational. W. Terra. Thank you. All right. But on that, we also got to give one last round of booze and shame. Yeah, I'll have a wonderful week. And this round of booze and shame goes out to all the Zeus haters. So upset. Wait. So upset. Hell, take a drive to Oakland. Oh, Alter Ego. Are you talking about Oakland? Oh, look at this. Kimmy's here. Oh, okay. Just stay right there. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give some Zeus haters out there. And they know exactly who they are. A last round of booze and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, Kimmy, you've heard it enough. I gotta go, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your morning. Take care and stay safe out there. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do.
Yeah. Gotta wake the chain up. Get injected with some power.
Hey.
Pull some strings. Level up like a king.
We're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Came from the trenches, now we ballin' at the top. Wisdom, energy, and president.
What a great show!
Drip too saucy, got the fit, hitting real different. 1600 on the throne, out here looking brilliant. No skis, I'm the best.
Be safe out there, ladies and gentlemen. W and yeah, they recorded me all show. But guess what? We'll be back. Same Rizzler channel. Hey. Hey. Wow. But they cannot touch the throne. Posted in the Oval Office, trapping in the zone. That's the hate, got my foot on the gas. I'm bulletproof, yeah, my aura is built to last. Slack with the plan, moving chess, not checkers. Presidential flex, got my game on my necklace.
Level up, we taking over.
Let's go, baby. and gentlemen.
Get too clean, get it poppin'. We ain't gon'
Never stop, no cap, we lit WCNA.
1605 presidential, we find it
Posted in the Capitol, moving like I own the block. Riz game presidential, got the nation in a lock. W heaven, 100, no facade. Follow experts, not TikTok drifters. Go ahead, Dr. Keisha.
With the blues turn the dreams into
Chandeliers, ops stay lurking, but they folded under all the pressure. 1600, I'm the one flexing, I'm the new successor. WN.
In the White House, DC is the town. Woke up in the mansion, views from the East Wing. Prime presidential, residential, got the poles in a climb. I'm the vibe, came to calm in the storm. Got the world dropping bombs like I'm reading out of Psalms. Ops trying to glitch, but my quote is unbreakable. Skibidi through the storm, legacy unshakable. Jingle through the air,
Got the city in the grip. Hey, make the whole world flip. Bust it off the charts, got the game in a trance. Shift too wavy, yeah, make you wanna dance. You too, Edward, but do better, Edward. Come on, keep this mentoring that I'm providing you. I ought to charge you for it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your